Suicide Squad number 7, written by Adam Glass, art by Clayton Henry and Ig Guara. We left off last issue with the first part of the hunt for Harley Quinn, where Harley gets captured by the GCPD because she wants to get in order to get to the Joker's face, and now the Suicide Squad has to break her out. So this issue picks up with them already having their plan in motion. King Shark is being disguised via holograms of Lime and Light, the two newbies, to look like Clayface so that they can have some plausible deniability, and it's just rampaging right outside the GCPD. Meanwhile, inside, Savant and Deadshot, that's the one, are making their way through the police. I'm pretty sure they're not lethal, but it's kind of hard to tell. And they just start splitting up because, you know, Harley could be anywhere in here, but Savant makes the point. He's like, no, there's only one place she is. She's wherever the face is. So we just got to find that. Also, apparently, Waller's taking this pretty personally because this is the first time someone's actually managed to go AWOL on the Suicide Squad. But we get a flashback to Harleen Quinzel after a bunch of interviews with the Joker, and her boss is chewing her out like, you have a crush on the Joker? Are you insane? And she's like, no, I don't have a crush on him. I just think he's interesting. But in the process of her boss freaking out on her, she sees her own research notes on the boss's desk with like evidence that they were being collated for publication. And apparently the boss was going to use Harley's research to make her own book and get rich. And the boss tries to justify it for a second, but Harley just backhands her and then goes at her with a broken shard of glass. Security guard comes in, hears all the commotion, like, what happened? Is there one of those crazies loose in here? And then Harley theoretically kills them both. Doesn't actually show it. But then we get to Joker, who's in a cell. Harley comes in with a bloodied up gun, being like, hey, something happened, and we're going to go now. And they leave arm in arm, and Joker in blood has written on the glass of the cell, gone fishing. So then we get back to Harley versus Savant as he's walking through some of the detention holding cells underneath the GCPD. Harley comes at him with the hammer. He manages to dodge and gets in some good shots, but Harley baits him into one of the cells where he steps on a pressure mine. And if he takes his weight off of the mine, it will explode. So he's forced to just sit there in one of the cells while Harley does her thing. Meanwhile, we cut back outside to Lime, Light, and King Shark. Lime and Light are having trouble keeping the hologram going. So King Shark makes his way down into the sewer so that they can't see that it is actually him there. But as he gets out of the way of Lime and Light, Lime is hit by a bullet and just grazed, but she's injured. And she tells Light to leave and she'll take care of herself. And as she's being arrested by the cops, she's like, okay, I'll tell you everything you need to know. I'm part of a team. They treat us like animals, inject bombs into our necks. We're called Task Force S, and we're all employed by Amanda. And then Waller blows up her head. And Light does not take that particularly well. So then we cut over to Deadshot. He's going down a dark hallway. Turns on his infrared, which Harley takes advantage of by then lighting up 2 road flares, which blind him temporarily and allow Harley to get the upper hand. She knocks him out, and we cut one more time back to Harley's past, where they are at Ace Chemicals, and Joker's giving her the tour and being like, hey, by the way, this is where I was born, and we're here to celebrate your birthday. And she's like, it's not my birthday. And she's like, no, today will be your birthday from now on. And he tosses her over into the acid bath that he fell into. And as he drains it and lets her out, we see that she's become bleached skin, black and red hair, the Harley that we all know and tolerate. And she plants a big old kiss on the Joker saying, come here, puddin'. So there's the origin of Harley Quinn. So we cut back to Deadshot. He's tied up in a chair. Harley steps up saying that we need to talk. And as he's like, all right, untie me. And I say, no, Deadshot, not you. And she pulls out Joker's face, puts it onto Deadshot, and says, now we're going to talk. And Deadshot's like, oh, you've actually lost it. Okay, cool. So she asked, like, now, why did you leave me, Mr. J? And Deadshot's like, I guess I got to play along here. I didn't quit us, you did. And She's like, no, I loved you. And he's like, yeah. So then why are Batgirl and Batman and Robin still alive? You're a stupid girl. Why didn't you do what I made you for? And she plants a sloppy one on Deadshot wearing Joker's face. She's like, I knew you'd be back, Mr. J. Now we can be together for. And then she gets shot. Deadshot used the distraction to get a gun he was hiding, shoots Harley in the stomach, and she collapses in a pool of her own blood on the cell. And that's it. That's the arc. That's where it ends. I like it. I think it's important to have the Harley Quinn origin here, especially with how, just from a meta sense, how much they're going to be leaning into Harley's everything in a little bit. So having it here where she's pretty much being introduced to the New 52 exclusively, I think it's necessary to be here. Giving her own arc, same deal. She's a more, if they're already have the plans to do big things with her, I think now is a good time to do that. That being said, I don't really know what this arc accomplished. If we do more with the Lime and Light stuff, that could be interesting, especially because they were made in Green Arrow and I didn't care for them at all. So to do something with them here would actually be impressive. I feel like the primary point of this arc was just to give Harley Quinn some focus and give her some character development. And I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. That being said, I wonder if we're actually going to stick with any sort of consequences from this rather than just, oh yeah, Harley got patched up and everyone else made it out pretty much alive. If that happens, I won't be too upset, but I will be a little bit disappointed. Anyway, for this particular issue, art's fine. I like the way that Harley is just literally having a mental breakdown, even for her crazy self. So, yeah, it's good. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6.5. Again, my only main critique is the fact of, you know what? No, I'll bump it up to a 7. I'll bump it up to a 7. It's good. It's a good issue. I don't really have any major critiques outside of how they might handle it moving forward, but I can't critique this issue for that. So I'll give it a 7. And I am looking forward to seeing what the next trade brings.